Well, I'm Jane and I live in Buffalo in western New York, although as you can probably hear, I'm also British.
Jane, you've been here in Tunisia for about a week. Can you tell us a little bit about the program you're traveling on and what you've been doing?
Well, the reason I chose to come with the World Affairs Council was really for the opportunity to meet local people, in particular political leaders. I think as a frequent independent traveller, you can on your own meet local people, but we've had access to some high-level leaders of different political parties, and that I have found particularly fascinating. And I think they've shared their insights in a very candid fashion.
Can you tell us a little bit about the profiles of some of the people you've been meeting on this trip?
Well, the profiles in the sense we've met, for example, the leader of the Islamist Party, and he's talked quite candidly about Islam and the role of women and how this country's having to collaborate with other parties in order to pave a way forward. And one thing that has really struck me is all the leaders we have met, they all describe the problems or the challenges facing Tunisia in a very consistent fashion. And the other thing that has struck me is that in some instances it's almost as though the USA is a panacea for all these problems, and of course back home in the States we have many of the same problems. So globalization is affecting us on a different sort of scale, and I don't know if Tunisians realise that, and I don't know if Americans realise that. But looking at things we've been talking about today, for example, like graduate unemployment, dissatisfaction, disaffection of youth. I mean, that's prevalent in the US as well, as in Europe. And in a way, it's a pity we can't, all countries, get together and come up with solutions, because in my view, these problems are not going to go away.
Well, when you told people you were going to come to Tunisia, what was the reaction?
Well, in my case, because I travel a lot, and I travel on my own, and I travelled in the Middle East a lot, I don't think people were particularly surprised. Some of them, of course, don't know where Tunisia is. Some said, well, is it safe? So really the sort of fairly standard response. And I said, as this was a organised group, obviously we wouldn't be coming if there was any particular danger attached to it. And I think people take things out of perspective, and I think it's the fear of the unknown.